good afternoon, everybody. I would like to again welcome you all. I think many of you have attended the session in the first half, where we talked about oil manufacturing and in particular edible oil. So the last session we learned about edible oils and the market for it. So this session we'll be looking at essential oils, which although comes under the same category of oils, it has a completely different market, completely different production capacity, and different cost as well. And also where the markets are, and what we'll be learning today is basically an introduction into essential oils, which are most common in India, extraction methods, what is the market overview and the demand for it, what are the basic manufacturing requirements, what are the product lists that you can look at, few of the derivatives, and also a little bit on the oleoresins. If What are the government licenses that are required for this, and a sample commercial calculation on how the project can be feasible, and what are the cost benefit analysis that we can look at. As again, like how I did in the morning, before I start, a quick introduction to SolutionBuggy to people who have joined, just for this session. So we are an online platform to connect the manufacturing industries to the experts. We are, in fact, India's largest platform for the MSME sector. We have about 10,000 experts on the platform, and I think we have done about 2,300 projects across India in the last 6 years of our existence. So when we say projects, it could be anything from a one-day consulting assignment in lean management or training programs, and goes up to all the way into setting up of industries from concept to commercialization stage, which can run into a few months to a year. And what it includes is basic market research, product identification, detailed project report, procuring of machineries, plant setup, commissioning, supply chain management, sales and marketing development, and a host of other things. So, and the few sectors which are really core to us, although we target everything in the manufacturing segment, is food and beverage, chemicals, pharma, aerospace and defense, electronics, and a few trending sectors such as EV, battery manufacturing, ethanol plant setup, nutraceuticals, cosmetics, geotextiles, etc. So with this, I would, want to introduce our speaker for the day, Mr. Abhishek Nirake. Mr. Nirake heads Amai Design Solutions. He has he's a mechanical engineer and also has an MS in water technology from Edinburgh, Scotland. He has led research teams for the last 12 years before his venture at Jain Irrigation and also at Tata Projects in the R&D division. He has immense experience in setting up of units in chemicals, especially the specialty chemicals, F&B industries, renewable industries, and also oils and derivatives. We welcome you, Mr. Abhishek.
Thank you, Guru sir.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Yeah. So I would now want to hand it over to you. You can walk us through the ins and outs of the essential oil industry. If there are very pertinent questions during your presentation, I will take the liberty to stop you and ask the questions. If not, we can have the Q&A at the end of the session.
Okay, right. Yeah. Right. Thank you, Guru sir. Hello, good afternoon, everyone. So coming to the most means untouched or say very rare industry of India, that is essential oil. Although these are oils, the extraction processes are different. That's why they are essential. And why they are essential? Because they have a uses and application in multiple fields than the having it means than to eat it and have it. So they have many other applications. So what are essential oils? So essential oils, they are highly volatile, aromatic oils, and they are obtained from plant, maybe obtained from the product like stems, leaves, and branches also. So this is not dependent, it is specifically from the plants, flowers or seeds. So it can be derived from all of the above. And Essential oils, they are aromatic essences, which they can be used, found application in food industry, perfumery industry, sanitary, or in beauty products. So they are most commonly recognized as food additives and have an valuable applications in conservation of food because of their properties of antibacterial activity. So they avoid antibacterial activity in food products, so they can be used as a food preservatives also. So due to their potentials used to side effect to human and environment, they can be utilized to substitute to artificially synthesize and chemical preservatives. So that's the best means application that comes from an essential oil. So what are the essential oils, where they are used? So essential oils are used in flavor industries, where food and beverage industry, they can be used as a flavoring agent, preservative agent. It can be used as a tobacco industry, as a flavoring and flavoring industry, pharmaceutical industry to flavor and oral drugs or liquidate syrups. In personal care, it is used in a perfumery industry. It is used in cosmetic products. It mainly used in dental products like toothpaste, mouth fresheners. It is also used in a household, our regular household. Um, so coming to the pharmaceutical use, so in many antibacterial medicines or nutraceuticals, essential oils has been used for having their antifungal, antibacterial, and other properties. It is also used in veterinary drugs, where the specific oils is been used to seduce an animal to take that medicine. It also has an industrial use. It is used in pesticide industry, majority industry, which is a motor industry, paper and print industry, rubber and plastic industry, textile industry, and adhesives industry. So these are means major applications of essential oil. The application can also be increased depending on the product. Uh, this is the next. These extraction oils, these are extracted in different methods. So some of them are using alcohol, some of them are using water, and some of them are using carbon dioxide or nitrogen pressurized vessels. So why this is, I'll elaborate in a further slides. So first of all, what make this essential oil different than normal oils? So normal oils are can be cold or heat extruded because of means they can easily be collected, and this essential oil, they comes into very small portions, and it required a specific solvent or water to get extracted and then separated. So it contains essential oils, resinoids, concrete, oleoresin extract, resins. So this all means these all are means considered to be essential oil. There are also some isolated compounds and enriched oil, which is also considered as essential oils. So they can be extracted from spice, herb, and aromatic compounds like flowers. So coming to the extraction, first extraction, which is called steam distillation, which is very common. It has been mostly used by the farmers to extraction of geranium. Geranium is very common essential oil extracted in India. I think every district has a geranium extraction plant. Now, where the geranium is used? Geranium is majorly used in aromatic industry, where the marginal aromas has been used, like mosquito repellents and other spray industries, spray perfume industries. And now, um why this is that much spread? So this is very easiest method. The raw material is available with the farmers. They can extract it and they can separate it. So a small machinery can do the steam distillation. So this is one of the example. Actual steam distillation is work with the multiple oils, spices, and they are into an industrial areas. Another is a solvent extraction. So some of the essential oils that are being extracted using that are being extracted using solvents like ethanol, methanol, toluene, or others. So why these solvents? Because this essential oil doesn't dissolve with oil or doesn't get dissolve with steam, or they have an lower boiling points than the water. So this type of essential oil, they can be extracted using and alcohols or solvent. Then it has been vacuum distillated because of the content of alcoholic content, and alcoholic it has been condensed, and the absolute has been removed out of it, and oil has been separated after the absolute removal. And absolute is again recycled to get the further next batch. So this is the solvent extraction process. Next process is CO2 extraction, that is supercritical extraction. This is very rare process, and this has been used for the oils who has and low boiling temperatures, and they are products which are very heat sensitive, so where heat cannot be used. The supercritical extraction which has been operates at 95 to 100 degree Fahrenheit, so commonly at the room temperature, and some of the steam distillates operate at 140 to 212 degree Fahrenheit at say 90 to 100 degrees Celsius. The major thing is why this means CO2 extractor. So under pressure of CO2, carbon dioxide, uh, this product is being heated, and with the suction pressure, and the pressure comes with the CO2 that has been extracted to the separator, and which has been collected. In this case, the solvents required for each product is different. The steam is also been used sometime. Sometimes when the cold extraction is there, where the temperature should not exceed more than 10 degrees Celsius or 5 degrees Celsius, then nitrogen also be used to create a pressure, which is also controls the temperature. So this is supercritical CO2 extraction process, which is used for a very precise and very pure quality of essential oils. The next process is maceration, which is maceration is an old technology where it has been chopped and it has been filtered through a funnel, and with rectification of higher pressure it has been used. This technology is not been used now, because this majorly used to extract an essential oil from the plant leaves, where the oil content is majorly higher than 10%. Now where the uh, other oils where are lesser than 10%, this technology is not been used, as well as this is not feasible to use this technology. Mainly vitamin E oil, which has been extracted from an plant material, this technology is used, because vitamin E oil which has been easily extracted with a higher pressure, and it doesn't require any specific other requirement like distillations and other. Last technology is influorage. Influorage is a outdated technology where the old means it is a very old technology where it's fats which has been dried and then they are processed, or maybe hot or cold press, and it has been compound. So other oils has been used this influorage technology for their press, but mainly this technology is old, and the losses in this technology are higher, as well as contaminants come with the product are higher into this technology. So this is one of the technology. This is mainly used by and rose petal and rose water manufacturers, because it is easier to process that roses coming from and market which is not been sold, and use them to create something which can help their financial supports. So this technology is used by this type of manufacturers. There is another process which is a cold press extraction, like other oil manufacturing and other means food related oils manufacturing. The cold press extraction is being used. It is mainly used for essential oil for citrus related fruits, where the expression or scarification of citrus is being done using a high pressure, and emulsion is being treated with a centrifuge, where the juice content and the oil content which we get separate out, and limonene which is a citrus oil is can be separated or collected, and the juice can be used to manufacture the pulp, puree, juice, or other means other products. So this is a cold press extraction process. As I told you about water distillation, so delicate flavors which are coming from a flavor like vanilla and other flavor extraction, a water distillation process is used, where water is been distilled and essential oil has been collected. But after water distillation, this delicate flower petals or delicate peels which has been used for production, they don't means get hampered because of the extraction, and they can be used for further processing. So like rose petals, the extraction and its a delicate essence has been taken out, and the other rose petals can go for making gulkan. So this type of process is been used to for this type specific type of essential and essence. uh, then what is Indian essential industry? uh, where we are right now in manufacturing of essential oils. So India has achieved number one rank in manufacturing of mint oils. India has the largest manufacturing of milk oil and related essence. India is second largest in export of spice extracted oils. So cinnamon, cardamom, black pepper, clove oil. We are the second largest in the world to manufacture this type of spice extracted oil. We are in the top five exporters of aromatic oils, which is been collected from floral or another means extract tea or another products which is used for aromatic compounds. Even means and coconut oil is also extracted from the aromatic oils, and which has been used specifically in a flavor industry and aromatic industry. So coconut oil is also one of the industry where we are leading in the world. So what is the market exactly right now? Market is accelerating with a huge CAGR of 8%, and the incremental growth is about 3.90 billion. The reference is from TechnoAvio, where they are having a market research related to these products, and global organic essential oil market, where it's been sold. So maximum market is supermarkets and hypermarkets are present in the industrial areas or industry where it has been used as a essence or food flavoring. It is also been used the second application where the industry is targeting, which is spa and relaxation oil, and third market which is in between us, so which is used in India in Ayurvedic products. The market value was in 2016, it was 4,378 million. Now it is at 5,388 million and has an almost 1,000 plus million incremental growth rate within 3 years. Where it is demanded, so where this is used. So mainly the essential oil market in India, it has been segmented based upon the product application zone, which is based on the product market actually, as well as categorized into type of oils. So citrus oil, eucalyptus oil, clove oil, peppermint, basil oil, corn mint oil, spearmint, and sandalwood oil. These are the some of the example how it has been means segregated. The demands for citrus oil, it is increasing with an higher CAGR, because the main it is used in mainly production of citric juices and other means of flavor industry. India is also major producer of mentha oil, and within mentha oil, it has been used as a corn mint, peppermint, spearmint, and Japanese mint oil. Another application which is in food and beverage industry, where home care products, fragrances, and other products are continuously increasing. Pharmaceutical products, as well as Ayurvedic products, cosmetic industry, toiletries, aromatherapy. These are the increasing market as well as means export as well as in India. So this
Abhishek,
is
since
where
you
the
are
demand.
on that slide of demands and the
Yes.
market potential, uh, do you think there is a good demand in the B2C market as well, or only in the B2B market?
Majorly means manufacture of these oils will target B2B demand. B2C demands is mainly related to spa and relaxation oils. Well, the B2C customer is been there. For other industries, it has been used as a additives or means as a means ready to eat food industry. It is been used as a preservative. So it is majorly B2B industry. For some part, it can be B2C industry where the fragrance and essential oils and spa and relaxation oils where it is been used.
So
So both
mostly it is an ingredient into a future, product.
Yes. So depending on product means industry is divided into major segments. So recently, if you read some of the successful stories related to essential oil, majorly they are on the spa and relaxation. So they are on the side of the B2C industry, who has now means having a major successful stories. So what are the manufacturing plant equipments and what are the equipment needed to manufacture these essential oils? What are their sizes? How the industry? So I'll continue this within the next slides. So first of all, some of the oils need heating. So heating systems, distillations, maybe heating system required boiler or TF heater, so thermic fluid heaters that can be used. The distillation assembly, rectification unit, extraction unit, filtration unit, evaporation unit, drying unit in some cases, molecular distillation unit, reaction chamber or reactor, a condensation column where it has been condensed, subcritical water extraction unit if the water has been extracted from the oily content, then a CO2 extractor, supercritical extractor unit. Now, this all unit manufacturing, where it is used, it can be used as a flavor industry. It is into a fine chemistry upgradation. Cosmetic industry, it requires an concentrated form out of it. Perfume industry required an concentrated form, but at a more purification level. Pharmaceutical industry, the application is different, so the manufacturing equipment will be dependent on the FDA side. So this is about a plant manufacturing unit and equipment. So list of products. What are the list of products we can do manufacture in India and which has a good demand? So citrus oil, which can be extracted from a bergamot, grapefruit, lemon, lime, oranges, tangerine, and means these are the main products of a citrus oil. The citronella, not citronella, Limonin has an huge demand and it has multiple derivatives, and everyone has consumed it with orange juices. We are getting it from the outer market, as well as we are having some of the essence in our means orange and other essence at our home, so we are using it. Then herbaceous oils. So what are the herbaceous oils which are comes from and medicinal herbs? So like basil, chamomile, melissa, claysage, hyssop, marjoram, peppermint, rosemary. These are the herbaceous oil. With this saped muesli, then ashwagandha, this oil also been extracted and it is been used in India, and which has a huge demand. Then a camphoraceous oil. So camphoraceous oil means which has a dark essence. So these are essential oil with cajeput, tea tree, the tannins which are means a barnenol like tannins, earthy maggot, rosemary, and a plum like fruit. So this fruit having a camphoraceous oils. Then floral oils, it comes from means as the name speaks, geranium, jasmine, lavender, rose, neroli, chameli, ylang ylang. So these are the Chinese plants. So these are the floral oils. Then coming with the woody oils. So woody oils mainly our cinnamon, cedarwood, cypress, juniper bee, pine, sandalwood. So these are the woody oil extracts. Then come to the earthy oils. So earthy oils are the earthier part, means from the roots, which is angelica, patchouli, then vetiver, veteran product like um, valerian produce, uh, others, even lemongrass also come with the earthy oils. The spicy oils are clove, thyme, anise, black pepper, cardamom, cinnamon, coriander, cumin, ginger, nutmeg. So this comes under a spicy oils, and these are used into flavor and food and beverage industries. So how many products do India manufactures? Currently, India export more than 250 different essential oils from India, and 750 plus major derivatives. So this is a huge market. Majorly means this is not about an quantum product. This is about an quality product with a low quantum. So we don't have to manufacture say 100 or 200, 500 liters a day. 20 liters, 30 liters industry is sufficient to manufacture this kind of leaves, because these oils are sold at very different margins, and they are very rare. So this is not a very high quantum manufacturing unit. This will be a low quantum but high profit industry.
So Abhishek,
So
when you say we have to manufacture in low quantities,
yes.
can the units be set up anywhere across India? Because the raw materials can be got from anywhere, is it? Or
Yes, raw
is it?
materials can be got means it is a space dependent. So if we go for cinnamon cardamom oil, then probably in Maharashtra, I definitely not going to have a cinnamon cardamom oil here. So this can be specifically if that unit is near to Kerala and near to Sikkim somewhere, so where they can easily get the raw material. But if you talk about an turmeric oil, so turmeric oil contains curcumin as well as turmeric oil. So curcumin and turmeric oil can easily be done in Maharashtra. If you do with a ginger oil can easily do in a central Maharashtra and any state of India. It can be done anywhere. Citronella can be used and citronella can be grown anywhere, so it can be used and manufactured anywhere also. So there are multiple compounds. They can also be locally produced by the states and which has them specifically talking about the spice industry. Spice industry is mainly located at the northern and Kerala. So this is a specifically locked industry. But talking about even those industries, if it is near to Karnataka, if it is near to Tamil Nadu, near a very short location from the Kerala, it is been feasible because the transportation quantities are not much and it can be resold means it's powder of cumins, it can be resold after extracting of oils. So it has a different level of market and different market.
And it has a longer shelf life, unlike the edible oil market.
Yes, it has a very longer shelf life because of purity and means I'm coming to the next slide means how this oils can be differentiated. So I'm taking one example of a moringa a drumstick. So drumstick, a complete drumstick oil is been extracted, a complete drumstick seed oil had been extracted, drumsticks plant leaves oil had been extracted, it bark oil is been extracted. So oil can be extracted in all parts of moringa, but it has almost a different derivatives. So uh, coming to the technical words of 1,2-benzihydrocarboxyl acid, which can be derived from moringa, then mono 2-ethyl hexaster ester. It is also a combination using and moringa oil, oleic acid, tocophenol or steprol acid, steprol oil, uh, a mysteric acid, palmistic oil acid, stearic acid, oleic acid. These having a multiple different of conjugates derivatives which can be extracted and used, which can be the oil can be used to extract and different compounds out of it. So a derivative form of moringa and its extraction processes, it is much different. So a single product gives you a multiple product range of means of a market. So it can be a lignoceric requirement. It can be a lignite or oleic requirement. This can be fulfilled using a single product. So compounds are the means derivatives which are be functionalized with order to improve their antibacterial, antiprotozoal, and antiviral activity. So I would also like to add one major point here. That is the most say most expensive compound I have worked yet is come from Philanthus niruri. If you heard about Leu 52 oil, which is Leu 52 syrup, which has been used to cure a liver diseases or fatty liver conditions, or even after jaundice, it has been used to rectify the liver function. Leu 52 has a medicinal content of Philanthus amarus or Philanthus niruri. So Philanthus is the Hindi name is Vui amlaki. So Vui amlaki content a specific active component called giranin. And giranin sold at means it's a specimen we have took for our HPLC was at 2 lakh rupees for 10 grams. And even though other extract of a giranin means it's compound extract which is used in a pharmaceutical industry, it is sold at almost 2 to 3 lakh rupees per kg, which is being used as industrial. That was a specimen different I worked, but in industrial use. So where it is being used, it is majorly used in anti-RNA drug and even giranin. Hyderabad Virology Institute has taken trials of giranin over COVID virus, and they have been successful to blindfold the COVID virus. So giranin work to blindfold the COVID virus, so any human cell is not visible to COVID virus, and because of starvation, it means it gets nutrified from our body. So this is the working range about giranin, and this is a plant extract. And many Ayurvedic product who supposed to work on RNA industry is using this kind of products. So commercial part of oil extraction. So please apologies for the spelling mistakes of so commercial part of essential oil extraction. The cost estimation coming for 8 to 10 kgs extract a day. So plant capacity of supercritical extraction of 8 to 10 kilo. The land and building cost will be around 1.22 cr and requires a 15,000 square feet area. Plant and machinery will be of 1.2 cr. Working capital for 2 months will be 20 lakh rupees, and total capital investment is of 2.69 cr. The rate of return for supercritical extraction for smaller unit is almost 24%, and break even will be almost 59-60%. The distillation method, which will give you an 28 kg, 30 kgs a day. The plant cost will be around 2.2 cr, requires 22,000 square feet of land. Plant and machinery will be 1.96 cr. Working capital of 2 months for distillation method will be around 62 cr, cause in distillation method a mass scale raw material is been usual, where the mass raw material purchase has been there. So working capital is been higher lowerly, and total capital investment is around 4.71 cr. So it is for 28 liters, 28 kgs or 30 kgs a day. It can be reduced depending on the requirement and product capacities. So rate of return in this distillation methods is 25%. Break even percent is 43%. So this everything of this means calculation is dependent on the product raw material which is been going to be target, as well as the product industry where we are going to sell. The extraction procedure depends on the purity level, extraction requirement, and final sale means targeted customer, where the targeted customer is from. So if it is from API, then FDA approved and CGMP approved, GMP approved plant will required. If it is a food and beverage industry, then only FSSI need to be done. So it is completely dependent on the area we are targeting. The next part of essential oil is oleoresins, which is highly
One
in
more thing,
demand.
Abhishek, people want to
Yes, sir.
know is, say, suppose you have set up a plant for one kind of extraction. Can you
Yes.
use other raw materials also in the same unit?
Yes. So a plant which has been used for manufacturing of means a plant well cannot be designed for a single product when you are targeting essential oil. If you are specifically targeting an another means if you are only targeting of ginger oil or caffeine from coffee, then means this type of plant will be different. But when if you want to go a multiple product, and even anyone will not suggest you to go with a single product plant, because you can easily change the product, and your dependency on a single product will be lesser. So if you are doing an cinnamon extract, you can do a cardamom, you can also do the black pepper, and you can also do the other products into it. The celery seed, cinnamon bark, basil, capsicum. So this come paprika industry, these are oleoresins, and this can also be done into a single plant. So where if you are targeting to have a curcumin and other collonoid or resinoids from turmeric industry, then a curcumin can also be converted to the giranin extract or from ginger oil extract. So a multiple product plant will be always been feasible for this industry, and it has been always preferred. I think are there any more questions?
No, I think we can take it later. So you can
Okay.
continue.
Okay. So coming to the second part of essential oils, which is oleoresins. So what are the oleoresins? Oleoresins is a term which is specifically defined to the oils or resinoids coming from and spice industry. So form of spices from turmeric. So turmeric capsaicin is one of the oleoresins. Turmeric oil is a oleoresins. Capsicum capsaicin coming from capsicum is also oleoresins. Ginger oil is been oleoresin. Then so this is related to specifically oleoresins are the oleonoids or resinoids coming from and spice industry. So fenugreek, basils, capsicum, balsam ginger, jambulbi, labdanum, mace, avla, then nutmeg, black pepper, pimenta, which is all spices, rosemary. So there are means the speak of the names, and the names will not be sufficient. So these are all spices. Oil coming from the spices is are the oleoresins. So why these are means separated? So these are the gum turpentine, which consists of rosin and turpentine. So specifically, these are not tannins or oils. So these are turpentines, rosins, and uh, yes, turpentines and rosins. And mainly, this is extracted using alcohols and another hydrocarbons, carbon hydrocarbons chains. So what are the extraction process for oleoresins? So oleoresins for specifically it has been extracted through and solvent extraction process or CO2 extraction process. CO2 extraction process gives more precise and more purity compared to the solvent extraction, but solvent extraction has a higher processability, so you can go with a marginal quantities. So excuse me, the process includes when the spices come to the entry point of a plant, it has been pre-treated for their means contamination. It has been extra, it is, first of all it is pulverized, then extracted using solvent, any type of solvent like alcohol or water, depends on the product. Then this solventizing system, then solvent evaporated, which has been collected to get oleoresins, and it has been other further used to purify. The solvent tanks and other extraction machine are means if you are using a solvent extraction to get this extracted, then solvent also need to be have a recovered, so solvent recovery system comes into it. um, if there is water, so no water means a solvent recovery needed, and ETP is needed only to recover the water. So this is very simplest process of the oleoresin extraction. Now coming to the part of oleoresin extraction commercially. So a spice oleoresins content, which is a very huge process is not there, but a very minute process where the extraction is less than 5%. So black pepper, cardamom, a 100 kg plant, so 100 kg product, it is not process, it is 100 kg product per day. A product per day plant will cost you around 5.13 cr, includes a land and building of 1.61, plant and machine of 2.74, and break even is around 54%, and rate of investment returns is around 27%. A spice oleoresin based on supercritical extraction of 55 kgs per day product capacity. The land and building will be 2.747. Plant and machinery will be highly costlier there, and it is a costliest plant because this spice oleoresin with supercritical extraction targets almost 100 different products in single plant, and it will the plant investment will be around 6.47 cr. Rate of return is 28%, whereas break-even point is 45%. Now I'll tell you means how these figures come. So I'll give you two brief examples of ginger and lemongrass. So how the net profit has been covered. So in a percentile recovery of ginger, the oil essential oil contents of ginger is around 14.50%, and in lemongrass, which is 8%. The raw material per kg of ginger is 110 rupees and lemongrass is 120 rupees. Considering the recovery for 1 liter of ginger oil, or say 1 liter of lemongrass oil, the cost of raw material it has been used is of 760 rupees for ginger and 1500 rupees for lemongrass. Then coming to the other process part, additives, packaging cost, consumables and maintenance, other manufacturing cost, power and fuel, manpower and salaries, the transportation, uh, and coming to the part of other part of project, which is a loan. So loan considered here is around 2.5 cr loan considered here in general, where we are targeting an SME industry with a 2.5 cr loan with a 12% interest. So the interest on loan will be coming to the each product of 28 kg manufacturing. It goes around 357 rupees on a single kg of product, a single liter of product, and depreciation of machinery of total investment machine are 1.5 to 1.7 cr will be 298 rupees. So considering everything of this kind of manufacturing required, or manufacturing processes or other additives which is on added on the product, the production cost will be 1477 rupees for per kg of ginger oil and lemongrass production, where the selling cost of this will be 3500 and 2800, with a net profit of 2000 rupees and 671 rupees. So in continuing with the net profit, which is gives you a 58% net profit, and in lemongrass it will be 24%. Production, if we consider production of 28 kg, so 8400 production per year and 7000 production for lemongrass per year. I think marginal investment will be recovered within 1.2 to 1.5 year with this kind of process profitability. uh, Actually we are not dependent on single product, so this is the highest and the lowest form of means uh, percentile net profit when we do a multiple products and a marginal thing. So this changes, so this will be definitely around 32 means 32% towards a developed plant, and the recovered cost will be within 1.5 year.
So,
uh,
since Abhishek, you're on that slide, is
yes.
there any specific government schemes that the entrepreneur can avail?
Yes, I'm getting it to the next slide.
Okay.
So, what are the licenses required? Means I'm coming one by one to those points. What are the licenses required for this? Means first of all, the business need to be registered. Definitely, the Udyog Aadhar or Udyana Aadhar is compulsory. Then coming to the BIS certification, which is a product specific. So, which products you want to manufacture, the product specific BIS certification is there. There are almost 200 plus BIS certification for different essential oil products. So these are a BI certification on a product side. The environmental permits. So whereas the higher amount of boiler and other will use, it will requires an environmental permits. So CPCB or local bodies. Even these using oleoresins as well as some of the solvents. So it requires an environmental clearances before going ahead. Then if the product is being used in a pharmaceutical application, then drug license will also required. FSSAI license, FSSAI license for food application, establishment license if you have any specific establishment, GST registration which has been compulsory. Now coming to the quality parameters, then there are laboratory standards to get it done. Means there are some ISO standard, there are some enable, so national biological laboratory treatment certification. So these are certification related to laboratory and your quality testing laboratory, for your quality testing laboratory. Then ISO certification, which is specifically for any specific product or plant you can get. So this is an addition. ISO certification, it is not much, but it can be get, means it can be further seek to have a specific quality of production as well as control on manufacturing. So this is some of the examples. So right side it is a HPLC and a titration method. So multiple distillation and titration method. So fractional distillation is been done at a testing and quality laboratory. So these are the photos from our laboratory. So laboratory equipment. What are the laboratory equipment required? So general laboratory requirement equipments required with some means flask, glass, and it's a means a boiling chamber, crucible, and distillation assemblies of 2 to 5 liter. If you do want to have some precise product of 50-liter distillation assembly and 20-liter distillation assembly, rota assembly will sometimes required depending on the product, what product we are doing. HPLC is must to control quality properly on our developed product, cause the quality performance and contaminants or the impurity profiles will definitely affect on the prices of selling. So quality control lab will definitely a good option when we are manufacturing this kind of unit. So these are some pictures of a distillation process unit. So here it is a thermic boiler at the bottom side, the reactors at the side, and distillation assembly to the right side up. Secondly, it is an extraction unit of a CO2 extraction unit. So four CO2 chambers has been there, and through compression chambers and distillation assembly has been there in both photos. This is a hybrid process. So there is also one option when some of the products required a high purity as well as a marginal quantity, then a combination of CO2 extraction and distillation process, solvent distillation or solitary extraction process, is been combined with an CO2 extraction to build an hybrid plant. So hybrid plants also been there. There are two hybrid plants in India. One is run by HUL. So that's it from my side. Thank you. So I'm waiting for the questions. Guru Prasad sir, you are mute.
Yeah, sorry. I think what some of the people want to know is who are the large players in this segment as of today.
Okay. There are multiple players. Like means India. In India, there is a association of essential oil, which is called Essential Oil Association of India, which is from Delhi, and this takes Shakrapur, Delhi, and this takes a marginal proportion where the companies which comes under and a consortium of that association, they are the largest producer of essential oil. Then Keshra essential oil, which produce alcohol-free perfumes, CO2 extracted essential oil, fluoro absolute oils, pure floral waters. Um then Moksha Lifestyle Products has been there. BMV Fragrances Limited. This is from a German founder. Shiva Exports is there, which is from Chhattisgarh, and they actually concentrates on the Basalam Peru, Basalam Capoiba, amber oil, ajwain oil, agarwood, cade. So they are concentrating on this basil oil. So they are concentrating on the central product. This fragrance balance is coming from Maharashtra, so which is in central Maharashtra, and it use an clovis sage, orange, neroli, lavender, peppermint, lemon, patchouli, citronella, rosemary, lemongrass. Then Indian aroma exports are been there. Natural India is there. So there are almost major 10 to 12 companies in India who has a marginal presence in exports.
Right. So, since you also will appreciate the fact that essential oil is a much more complex process to set up and also to understand, and somebody who is thinking to invest into it would also need to go for a higher capital contribution from his end.
Mhm.
So with that in mind, some of the entrepreneurs are having a question that who could be the buyers. So and how do they go and approach the buyers?
Okay. Mostly marketing part of buying is depending on your product quality. Means Amul is also an essential oil customer, as well as a local ice cream maker is also an potential customer. So everything is dependent on oil. A lycopene content from means a lycopene content of an tomato oil or tomato placenta or tomato skin oil, lycopene content plays a major role. So if lycopene content is 10%, then the customer base is different. If it is 40% plus, then the customer targeted customers are different. So Nestle will prefer a 40% content lycopene content oil, whereas a local customer will choose an 10% contentment. And how to get the customers is more on how customer will reach us, because we have a product range of multiple products and which has been used into multiple industries. So spice industry, you can easily get approached by these industries from foreign, as well as you can approach them in say abroad, who's into manufacturing of ready to eat foods and food related products. Secondly, aromatic compounds. So aromatic compounds are very rare to find, and they are very precise. India is largest into mints because India has the largest cultivation of eucalyptus, and eucalyptus collection is very higher. Means you can easily get eucalyptus in all state of say India. It is everywhere, and eucalyptus is used in mainly all the sprays related to pain relief sprays, Ayurvedic product related to pain balms, as well as the mint products which are consuming orally. So I
Right,
think yes, this supplies the answer of marketing.
right,
Because the
and
customer, rather than approaching a customer will again approach us with a specific product if we have.
right. And also, I think since you were mentioning about the ice cream factories and all, so one point which we could highlight here is vanilla extracts. So vanilla extracts
Yes,
is one of the largely consumed extracts
correct,
in the
correct.
food, milk, and also the ice cream industry. And I think even at the lowest price, I think vanilla extract sells for almost 1.5 lakhs for a kg.
Okay.
So this is the kind of price that the entrepreneur can look at. Obviously,
Mm-hmm.
since it's so expensive, you can't expect to manufacture this in bulk. And as Abhishek was also repeatedly insisting on the point that it is not a product that you will be making in tons and tons every day. In many cases, you'll be making probably a few kilos for even maybe a week. So because the product being so premium, and also the requirement of the quantity requirement is so low, so that is the reason why the although the demand is in smaller quantities, the prices are very high. Next question, Abhishek. I think you have already highlighted it when you spoke about oleoresins and essential oils. Just to give a again kind of a difference between these two.
Mm-hmm. So a difference between two. So essential oil is a very vast term. So oleoresin, resinoids, other spice related oils are comes into the specific terms of essential. So essential oil is a very broad term. Oleoresin specifically are the oils or resinoids which are extracted from the spice industry or from the spices. So which is more relevant to the spice industry.
Right. Next question is: are there any specific schemes pertaining to the essential oil industry?
Yes, yes, yes. There are schemes pertaining to the essential oil industry. Means there are government subsidiaries. So where are these subsidies available? Subsidies available for R&D and product development. So if you are specifically having some research and development related to a specific product, if you are getting a DPR on it, so for that DPR and making a product development, you have a subsidiary. Secondly, you have a subsidiary for plant erection and commissioning. If you are taking loan from a government, then it has been subsidized in a different way. You have a subsidy for upgradation and expansion as well as for marketing. Now how this subsidy is been covered, so you will get a subsidy against your loan, against your basic amount, or at a specific at a 10% or 5 8% of the basic loan amount. Then further up to a specific limit of your interest. So if you are paying it with a 10% interest, you will get almost 4 to 5 lakh subsidy per annum for per cr per annum from government. So indirectly your loan interest will come down to 7 to 8%. Third, you get it subsidy in form of your product development project reports and appointing and research personals on your product development. So this is also one of the subsidy. You will get a benefit of a subsidy on your GST for next 7 years. So combining them all, the subsidy of total investment of a plant which is run for 6 year, subsidy comes around 25 to 32% in different states. So
Right.
some state is it goes around 32%, some state is around 25%.
And also, like I had mentioned in the morning, if the product comes under the ODOP, under that scheme for your district,
Hmm.
then you have additional subsidy and also an interest subvention for the project. Say, for
Hmm.
example, when you're talking about eucalyptus, and in your district, eucalyptus is under the ODOP, category, then
Hmm.
you can produce the eucalyptus oil, and we can work out on how to claim the subsidy for that.
Correct, correct. So another question I can see is about certification and licenses required for export. So
Right.
mainly if it is been extracted as a agriculture byproduct, then APEDA license is required. If it is having pharmaceutical application, then US pharmacopoeia, so USP grade and other gradation licenses you required. And if it is only for food, then you have to follow an EPA norms if you are following it to European or means whatsoever ever the importing country, you have to comply those norms about their import of food products.
Right. And also, is there a like there is a question saying that if I'm using ethanol as a solvent in one of the extraction process, do I
Hmm.
need any specific clearances?
Yes, ethanol is been recovered. So first of all, for using ethanol, you need to have an ethanol. I can say you need to have your specific quota from the government to use an ethanol. So ethanol is government controlled first of all, and to get a quota, you have to apply for a ethanol use license, which can easily possible if you are elaborating about the process. Nothing else means. Again, second thing you will required where the ethanol is being used. So areas where ethanol is being content. So these areas should be properly insulated. The electrical and other should comply the use of solvent or say specifically ethanol into it. So equipment should be designed properly in that way.
Right. And also, I think ethanol storage requires specific licenses.
Not licenses, but and government quota, which
Right.
includes a license as well as how much ethanol you can store and use.
Right.
So there will be an government control restriction over it. Over it.
Right. In terms of, I think how much input to output ratio. I think it depends on each of the
Each
product
of the
that you're
products
looking at,
means
but on an average,
yes.
what
On
are
an
the
average means coming to the point, oleoresins are the means oleoresins or essential oil. They are come into smaller quantities and their extraction methods are complex than the other easygoing oils. That's why means the extraction process are smaller, so it can be possible from 0.5% to 20%.
right? As far as profit margins, I think Abhishek has already mentioned it can range anywhere between 24 to 40% based on the various extraction methods and also the various input raw materials that you're going to
It
use.
is dependent on product majorly. So
Correct.
what product you are using, if you are looking for turmeric oil from turmeric, then turmeric oil can be a 4.8 to 5%. Curcumin can be from 4.2 to 5% on depend on the species of turmeric. So Salem haldi contains it around 4.2%, and other genetically modified turmeric which comes from Odisha, which will have 5% plus content. So it is completely product dependent.
Right. So, in regards to who manufactures the equipments, obviously, there are, it's not just one person who makes the entire assembly
Definitely,
line.
definitely.
So,
Means
you have to mix and match. So, there could be
mainly
some.
all these equipment can be manufactured in India.
Right,
Only yet now, if you require a complete plant of supercritical extraction, which is 100% automated, that comes from Korea.
right. Uh, and also, when we help people in setting up the unit, we make sure that the assembly line is not from just one person because there could be a lot of mix and match combinations that
Definitely,
can be looked at to make it a economically feasible plant.
correct.
Uh, yeah. In terms of who are the manufacturers? Okay. So this being a food processing unit, it can be set up in a non-industrial land, or should it
Yes,
be
possible.
right?
Possible. It can be set up in non-industrial land, like even agriculture land.
Correct.
Specific industrial NA we have to do,
Right.
and the means non-objection certificate from the local bodies, gram panchayat वगैरह nearest जो nearest bodies होगी उनसे we have to procure the NOC
Right.
and environmental clearance. Now it is been compulsory.
Correct. Uh, would you be knowing Nagar Mutta essential oil?
Nagarmuta, yes.
Yeah. Oh, is there a scope for
Yes,
that?
Nagarmuta oil, it has a very good scope in means industry where the oil is been used as a arthritis recovery, as well as it is been used in many of the Ayurvedic products.
Right. And say like how you I think you already mentioned the B2C market for this is low, and you will probably have to be a B2B player. So it's essentially like you are manufacturing for some of the fragrance, agarbattis, or other industries who will be your customer.
Correct. If we are doing with the fragrance industry, then this will be the customer customers. If we are dealing with food related preservative industry, then the customer will be from food and beverage.
Correct. Uh, so neem extract is being done today.
Yes, neem oil is also been extracted.
Okay, and what are the uses?
Uses, it is mainly used in Ayurvedic products. Secondly, it is been used in industry by means soap and other toiletries manufacturing industry who will give a essence of neem for their products. Means we are getting a soap of neem and lemon flavored soap. So this includes this neem extracts.
Okay, and when it comes to lemongrass, is there specific region where it can be done or anywhere
A
it can?
lemongrass now it can be cultivated anywhere if you have a good amount of water and the temperature is not so higher. Then lemongrass can be cultivated.
Okay, so there is no region specific this one which we have to look at.
Not now. Means there are many varieties of lemongrass which is genetically modified and it can grow into even means distinct climates.
There is some talk about hemp recently. I mean, there is a lot of people who are looking at hemp as a as a medicational product. So hemp oil is also coming under extraction units.
Yes, hemp oil comes into this extraction unit, and hemp oil is been distilled with a solvent distillation process.
Okay, and it can be done through this process.
Yes,
Is there a Do you know if there is a market for it?
hemp oil there is very limited and specific market into pharmaceutical and cosmetic industry.
Right. And also, since the government regulations are not very clear, only a few
Correct.
states have,
Can do that.
been, yeah,
Yes.
yeah, cannabis CBD is only allowed in a few states. The
Yes.
other states still have not got a clarity on the, how to deal with it and things like that.
Correct. And it's
Although,
even not even means depending on such type of product where it can be banned easily from
correct,
somewhere.
correct. So rather than taking a jump into it at the initial stage, I
Mm-hmm.
believe we should wait for the market to mature a little bit more and then
Mm-hmm.
take a jump into it,
Mm.
because there are
So.
already so many products that are already there and available with for this industry.
Mm-hmm.
We can look at other options before getting into hemp. And since the manufacturing process is also not very complicated, once there
Mm-hmm.
is a good demand, we can incorporate it into these existing units itself. It's just a
Correct.
change of the raw material.
Correct. Correct. So there are some questions related to disposal and residue. So the byproducts coming from this industry is suppose I'm having a process industry from spice. So spice industry products can be reused and after even elimination of oil, this can be sold into spices. So there will not be any issue of selling those again. If we are doing with lemongrass or neem like extract, so this is biodegradable extract and the residue will be biodegradable. It can be easily be used for means in a biogas or other processes, or even though after if the solvent process is not there, if we are not using ethanol or methanol reacted materials, then it can be even used as a cattle feed.
And the byproducts differ from product to product, right?
Yes, byproducts differ from product to product even with the process.
Yeah, depending on the process also.
Yes.
So I think there is a good amount of understanding into this, and a lot of people are trying to basically get their doubts cleared on what essential oils that they can get into, and also looking at the kind of investment. People are skeptical initially, but I think with a good amount of hand holding they can
Mm-hmm.
be molded into what are the kind of products that they can go for. And also,
Correct.
since you initially mentioned, it is one of the key industries which have not been tapped enough in India. And
Mm-hmm.
since there is a good global demand as well, and it is not a bulk product, so your dependency on logistics and other things is not much. So as long as you are going to select the right distillation method and the distillation, and the processing methodology, and choose the right set of products, I think there is a huge potential in this sector. And as usual, I know, as Solution Buggy, we have immense amount of experts who are working on this day in and day out, like how Abhishek is doing it. And also, we'll be able to handhold you right from the conceptualization stage, wherein you have these questions saying, can I use, lemongrass? Can I use neem? What is the economic feasibility of the project? How can I get the subsidies? Um, Also, what are the key manufacturing companies who are going to supply me with the equipments? So you have a host of questions. So that is where Solution Buggy, with in conjunction with experts like Abhishek and his team, we help the industries to get their thoughts in place first, do the initial market research and analyze and see what is the potential from the available raw materials in their region, and finally select and suggest the right products. Once that is done, the initial detailed project report for the banking purposes and for getting the loans, the machinery procurement. Once the machineries are procured, then the plant layout and factory setup, and also the commissioning of the machineries and doing the first trial run productions. Also, if required, train the manpower at your site, and handing over the project unit to you. So this is what we tend to do, and also help people better understand their own limitations and capabilities. And like most of you have this doubt of whom can you sell it to, or who can be your customers. So that is also one critical aspect where we handle the people. And obviously we need to understand that the customers who are going to be buying your products are in the B2B segment. So for them to go ahead with you, or to consider your product, they will obviously require the plant to be set up as per their standards, and the quality certifications and other things that Abhishek has already talked about. So I would say it would be very premature at this point to figure out who the customers are without having a product in mind. So
Correct.
at least get the product in mind, do the initial setup, and then we can, obviously do some send some soft fillers to the customers and ask them their opinion, and also see what are the market, what is deficit in the market, and which obviously has a good price. So this we can try to get it out from the market once we have some project plan in place, and finally we can help you set up the entire unit and get you the right customer for that particular product that you are going for. Also, there are a host of schemes and government initiatives that we were discussing about. So how does one avail that, and at what stage does one approach this? So these are some of the kind of questions that most of our entrepreneurs are having, and also how we help them over the last 6 years. We can present it to you, and also have some short micro consulting sessions with our experts. So this will be a more of a one-on-one session where you can clear your doubts and understand this sector better before you even start thinking of putting in large monies into this segment. So I think obviously Abhishek has been very informative his session, and also we've been able to gain a lot out of this session. Although this is just kind of an icebreaker kind of a session into essential oils, It's a huge, chemically and technically oriented project that someone can take up, but it need not be very complex. The processes that he has mentioned have been, there for ages, and they're not just limited to this particular sector. So the distillation or other processes, what he's talking about, is obviously there has been there in the market for a long time. So it's just selecting the right experts to help you on that path, and getting it executed through them. So with that, I think I would like to conclude this session. If there are any more questions, you can directly send it to us, and also we can have a one-on-one session which I was talking about with the right expert at your convenience, and get your doubts clarified in the field of essential oils. Thank you, Abhishek, for spending
Thank you,
this
sir.
afternoon with us and giving us all the knowledge. And also thanks to all the participants of this webinar, both the morning and the afternoon session. We obviously are, able to give some knowledge in both the sessions, but if anybody has missed out anything, then the video sessions will be shared to all the participants. And if somebody has not been able to join, even to them it will be shared. And also, in case you have any specific questions, do send it to us. There are, multiple, people who can help you in getting those questions answered. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.